Welcome everybody. Little Spec Ops Monkey here, and my mic is not muted this time. So, hope everybody's doing all right. So, I didn't think I'd be popping on daily, but the activity is staggering. So, right now we have 1,311 military aircraft. So we've just hit a new record. So as you guys can see from my screen, it looks like once again Fruity Pebbles. So it's pretty amazing. Just so you guys know, when you see these in orange, they're going to be below 500 feet. So these are aircraft that are fresh, just took off, or sitting on a runway getting ready to take off. But they're active, okay? And so when you see over here in the purple, those are going to be aircraft that are at altitude. So they're probably either flying, a great distance, starting probably. So for example, this C-17 right here, if I were to click on it, so it just took off out of, looks like San Jose, Sunnyvale area. That's a Reach C-17. And so it's probably upwards of, let's see here, 35,000 feet. And it will probably be heading westbound out towards Hawaii or beyond. So, all right. So we're going to dive in here real fast. Been seeing more activity at Guantanamo Bay. We had a Libyan aircraft that actually flew in. Don't know when it flew in. It just appeared and it showed on the departure. So we knew it flew in. And it was, if you look at the traffic, I'll show you guys here in a minute, but it's one of those things that flew in secret. And then they didn't care X-bound, X-filling out. So they broadcasted it. But coming inbound, they definitely kept it quiet. So, all right. So what I want to do first, I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to click over here and I'm going to filter on type. Where's my type code? And I'm going to just show you the H-60s that are up right now, okay? And so these are all airborne, or except for the gray ones. When they're gray, they're on the ground, okay? But that's a lot of just H-60s. I'm not even including the EC-35s and stuff. But now you can see down here in this area, this is all training, okay? So that's a lot. Again, looks like ants. It's a lot of H-60s doing training. But we're going to go up here to Washington, D.C., because I want to show you guys some stuff here. As we spread our wings, the Northeast right now seems to be fairly busy. Okay? So outside of New York, up here, Long Island area, those are H-60s. Philly's got some going on. Baltimore seems to be a pretty hot little area. So, then out here, just east of New Bedford. Now, if you remember, New Bedford is the area that Maxwell was found in, I believe, in that general area. So, New Hampshire. So, that's just H-60s. So now I'm going to back this thing up, but we're going to just focus in on Washington. Down here into DC. All right, so these are the H-60s flying around DC. So you can see this one's flying actually the highway grid. Getting a little closer, you guys can see it. But it's down, it's descending. It's at about 53 knots, so it's not really going too fast. And it's now descending. It's down 300 feet. Really, yeah, descend at 300. All right, so let me clear that out. Let me clear this out. And we are going to, let me hit reset. All right, back over here to, all right, so this is a DC area right now. And we've had, between there and actually Jersey, this whole area right now, kind of get the Northeast a little bit there. Had some interesting stuff today. We've had, I saw a B-52 flying over DC within the last 30 minutes, which you never see B-52s. That is Night Watch right there. You guys can see Night Watch flying around DC. That is, let me see what we got here. That's one of the presidential birds, or from the presidential fleet. That's 0015. That's not POTUS, because it would say Air Force One if it was, and it would say Air Force Two if it was the other one. So, but just kind of a data point, right? So, have out here, we're gonna pull up. That's a P8. That's a sub hunter. You guys that know anything about the Navy bird stuff, And so now this one, check this out. This one's been flying in circles for a while. Okay. Now what's interesting is my buddy and I were talking. We were looking at. I see your comment, Dustin, that it's blurry. It shouldn't be blurry. It's not on mine. So somebody's doing something to make it blurry because everything looks crystal clear on my screen. So so here's the thing. This aircraft is actually, we were looking at it earlier. Dustin and I actually were looking at it earlier, and he's in the chat, and we were talking. This thing's squawking as an F-18, even though it's showing as a C-130, and it's up here doing some circles. So not really sure what's going on. That could be an F-18 flying cap. Not uncommon. They do have the ability. Now, I've seen Air Force One, whenever Bush went into Iraq for Thanksgiving one year, Air Force One was squawking as a Gulfstream 5. So they can identify it as whatever they want, really, if they have the clearance levels to do it. So, this is, I imagine this could be an F-18 that's flying around. It could be a C-130, but it's squawking as an F-18, but showing listing as a C-130, and that looks like a C-130 registration number. So let's go take a look here real fast. I can look this up. I will show you guys how to do this. Kind of cool, but you can drop into this aircraft database on C130net. It's a really cool thing, and I just punch in this. All right, put a dash in there. 16 is the year it was manufactured. So when you see a 16 on the front, that is the year that plane was made. Let's see if it pulls up. No aircraft found. So back to what Dustin was saying earlier, and what I was saying is that that not showing as a C-130 tail number, even though it's squawking as a C-130, or sorry, it's squawking as an F-18. But all right. So it looks like we got some stuff going on. Very active, very active. Now these right here, these are going to be T-38 trainers. Those are lawn darts. That's these guys are flying around. Look like I don't know what they're doing up here. Another T-38 trainer. So that's, you got Pax River close by here. So there is a lot of training activity that happens there as well. Back over here, what do we C2? One little Grumman Greyhounds. Like that one's doing some lazy circles too. All right. And I don't know what happened to our B-52, but let's just keep looking because I just want to see. All right. This is a little BE-20. I don't know what this guy's going. He keeps making some runs. Looks like the airport's here, but he's not really on an approach to airport unless he's trying to. He may be working on his nav instruments and just getting his heading stuff locked in, but I don't know. Maybe he can't do it because Dulles is a pretty active airport, so maybe he's just running out here around the airport doing stuff. So, all right, let's go up here and look at the northeast. Get closer. See the patterns. These guys on these H-60s are flying. What do we have here? It's another little BE-20. So those are good little aircraft for operators, these things, believe it or not, because you can get in and out of small areas. Not as good as what we see on the helos, because they can land just about anywhere, but it is a good aircraft. All right. So it looks like the helos are pretty active up here in this area. See what this one's doing here. Same thing, just kind of flying around. All right, let me back out. I think the looky, that one right there, that's another one of those E4Bs. So you can see it also is coming around this area in general. So it may be coming offline while another one comes online. So, but crazy busy. This one right here is, I want to say that's one of our Magma birds. That's a Spec Ops plane. So it's probably heading to San Juan, Puerto Rico out of Miami. Pretty common. It does that trip quite a bit. Don't know what that one is. Take a look at it. Pull it up on our database. See who it's assigned to. All right, back over here. Up. All right. So that one, again, manufactured in 2014. All right. So that's in the 61st Air Squadron. And we got some pictures here. I guess we can take a out of that. Come on. All right. So there's a picture of the aircraft. It's active as of April 2016. Came out of Marietta. That's where it was manufactured. So, all right. C-130J. Yep. All right. So 61st Air Squadron. Let's just take a quick look. Let me see where that is located. 61st Air Squadron. And we'll see here. You can see how I back into my stuff here, guys. This is, do a little digging. That's interesting. So that's Luke Air Force Base. So that one came out of Luke. All right. Or at least that's where it's assigned to. Okay. So anyway, all right. So now let me, this is what I want to look at. Okay. So you guys see this little Gitmo? See, I'm trying to show it here. My screen seems to have locked up on me. So, all right, hang on. Okay, here we go. All right, so this one right here, Gitmo 844. All right, so that, where'd you go? Okay, here he is, right here. All right, so Gitmo 844 is landing, looks like in Fort Lauderdale. That is not, that's a base commander's aircraft, okay? So when you see a Gitmo like that, it's 99.9% of the time it's going to be your base commander or the, next in line or something. But that is, it's not transporting prisoners, okay? Just so you know. And I know that with confidence because based on National Defense Act, if I stated before, you cannot put prisoners on the military assets. That's why we see the charters, okay? So that's why I key on to charters when we start looking at Guantanamo Bay. And so that will segue me into that, what we were just talking about. So, all right. So here's the plane that showed up last night. I think it's last night, sometime around midnight, 1 a.m., okay? It departed at 1:55 out of Guantanamo Bay and went to Lauderdale, okay? This aircraft is actually it's a Libyan airliner. So I don't know. So when it came in quiet because you can see the last time this thing squawked, and check out this location, okay? November 11th, it went from Kingston, Jamaica, which is one of our known black sites, okay, to Miami International. And then sometime between the 11th and the 18th of the month, I'm guessing last night, it popped in on the Guantanamo Bay. So I'm not really sure. It's a Learjet, so it's a little Learjet 35. So I'll show you what those look like if you want to. Well, you guys, let me see if they've got in here jet photos. Oh, I hit the wrong button. I'm on a roll. All right, so here's the photos. So this is just a little Lear 35. You can see, I mean, that's a U.S. Air Force One, but they're pretty cool little aircraft. They got a little giddy up. They got the little external tanks out here on the wing, so they've got some range to them. This thing could definitely make it across the pond. So it's a cool little aircraft. But anyway, so that went to one of the black sites, and sometime between November 11th and the 18th, and I would imagine it probably happened last night after midnight. They transferred an asset to Guantanamo Bay, and then basically did a dump and run, right? So they dropped him off and then rolled off, went to Fort Lauderdale, and the plane's still sitting in Fort Lauderdale. So there's that one. Now, here's what I think it is, okay? About 30 days ago, there was a senior Libyan Coast Guard commander that was arrested for human trafficking. And, this guy has been involved with the mob and all kinds of stuff. He's dirty as it comes, okay? So my guess, this is I don't know. Yeah, that's him. This is him right here, known as Bija or something, right? But he's a human trafficker, scumbag, okay? My guess is that they didn't want anything to do with him in Libya because he's got ties to mafia and everything else. He's dirty. government employee, and so they probably said, let's take him, send him to Guantanamo Bay. And my guess is he's not going to be there long. He'll probably be swinging from the end of a rope here shortly. But if he's got any kind of connection or ties to anybody in the U.S., they will flush that out of him beforehand. And that may be why he went to a black site first, because they probably waterboarded him and, depleted him from information before they took him over to the spa. Okay. That's kind of how it works. All right. So let's see here. Transponder. So that's that one. That's the one we were watching. Now, here's the other one. This is the one we've been watching for about since November 7th. We've been keeping eyes on this one. It's been going to all the black sites. This is the Kalita Air. And it's going to and from Port-au-Prince and Dominican Republic, and it's all going to these black sites. So Honduras it went to. So right now that aircraft took off. So yesterday it went from Port-au-Prince, Haiti to Punta, the Dominican Republic, a little quick hop across. So it was basically here, went over to here. Okay. And then it took off from there, went to Miami. And then today it's gone from Miami back to Dominican Republic. So there's somebody else right here. Somebody was taking a ride. When you get about here, you're over international waters, and then all the fun and games begin. And so, so whoever's on that one is probably getting the shakedown on the island. So good things are happening. All right. So here's the other one. This is the Maxwell bird that we refer to, 312FU. Okay. And so this one has been kind of interesting too. So on the 17th, we saw this one go to Washington, Dulles. Then it went to Wilkesboro, North Carolina, from Wilkesboro to Naples, Florida to Nassau, Bahamas, black site. Okay. Then it went from Nassau up to Boston. And then it went from Boston up to over to JFK to New Jersey. All right. Now, why is that important? And that's today. Okay. Who did we see that was butthurt level Bravo from the state of New Jersey that was saying that Trump needed to be, taken down, right? So evidently there's something going on in the Northeast, and we can see that. Like if we go over here, oh, come on now. All right. My screen's backing up on me here. I can't have too much stuff open. I don't have that much stuff open. So, but I'll close a couple items. I think it may just be ABS Exchange just kind of lagging right now. So you got so many aircraft on it. It's probably what it is. So, all right. So we'll take a quick look. Okay. I just saw some things unfreeze. So we'll take a quick look. But you can see the Northeast over here. I mean, this place is hotter than a hooker on dollar night right now. It's I've never seen this much activity going. The amount of helos around Baltimore. And look at that. Look at all the helos around Baltimore. And we just track our way up northeast here to New York and out here. And it's just a lot of stuff. A lot of C-130s moving. H-60s. We got some heavies, right? C-17's up. So there's just let me see, this one here is a little C-560. So that's a little Cessna Citation. That one looks like it just rolled in from somewhere. Where did it come out of? Let me back up. Let me see where the Citation came in from. Uh-oh, looking like it came international. Into, so it stopped in Iceland. So that's a gas stop, right? So I don't know where it came from before then, but Iceland down. All right. So, all right, let's take a quick gander over here over Europe. Let's see what we got going on. Now, they're I think we just said daylight savings, so they're 7 hours ahead of us. So it is, it's pushing about 8:20 p.m., I think. Is that about right? So this is pretty common. These are more than likely, these are training. Let's see. Those are Chinooks. See the dual blades on them? That may not be training, but These little EC-35s. The Puma, that's not. I don't know. H-47. More Chinooks. Okay. Well, normally I see little EC-35s over there, but I'm not seeing 35. So I do see we got that's an Osprey that's up right here. So that is an Osprey. US Osprey, V-22. So interesting. I don't know. Typically I see this, and up here I'll see some training going on, but those, I don't see a lot of training happening with the Chinooks. So we'll see. I'm sure my UK counterparts, some of these SAS guys will chime in and fill us in on it. But that's fighter. So, and that's a fighter. German fighters. That's an F-16 US. No, that's Polish F-16. So let's take a look at this F-16. That is usually combat air patrol, right? So air support. You got something going on in Poland that it's probably ground operation. So you'll have this flying overhead. So see what that one did. Same thing. Very interesting. Those weren't connected. So this one's way up here. That one's way down. So, all right. 3,500 feet. So that was descending. It's getting ready to land. But, all right. So that's Europe. And what's this little doodad over here? It's just a little German aircraft. All right. All right. Back to the U.S. So we're going to just do a quick down and dirty on the U.S. stuff. All right, so here's another little swarm of helos. So it looks like we've got 5 Chinooks and 6 or 7, maybe more H-60s all right here. That looks like a base, so looks like they're all sitting right now. Those are actually not sitting, but these are on the ground. So, all right. Okay, let me back it up. Over here. All right, there's our B-52 again. All right, so you can see that 52 came in over right past DC. Now it's just kind of doing a little lazy left at 28,000 feet and cruising along. Looks like he's climbing, right? See the colors? What's interesting is that he was pretty high altitude. So over 30,000 feet, and then he descended down. Looks like he dropped down to somewhere between, 6 to 10,000 feet in altitude, and now he's climbing back out. So I don't know what he was doing, but here it looks like we got. Now I want to look and see from a fighter perspective what we have. B762, 76200s. Actually, hang on. Let me go this way because it's easier to do it. All right, back it up. All right, so these are all fuelers, air refuelers, and go 135s. If it makes me put in the K. Yeah, it's not letting me do that. All right, let me back out of that. Reset. All right. I want to see how many B-52s are up real fast. We'll do that for S&Gs. All right, I only got 2 up, it looks like. So it's not bad. All right. And see what our tankers are showing as. 703. South. Okay. Yeah, it's not going to show everything I've got. Just because you're talking at 1,340 aircraft. So that's another record. So anyway, all right. Well, we'll keep our eyes on. Somebody had asked me, I saw it pop through the grid here. Somebody asked me, how did I know that was a Libyan aircraft? If you go key in that tail number, it'll actually pull up as a Libyan. Let me see if it shows registration. Tail number, nah, it's not going to show me. But it's actually, if I key this in for the schedule and stuff, it is actually tied to Libyan Airways, I think it is. So That's how I know, right? Just because the tail number was able to tell me. Now, I do find it interesting that you got a Libyan Airways aircraft, little Learjet, bouncing out of Miami, going to Virgin Islands, Trinidad, Tobago, Trinidad, Miami, Kingston. So this plane apparently is also being used by the agency as one of the farm birds. So we will add that to our list of stuff to watch. Okay. So now we've got 3 planes that we know of that are actively doing this. So there's definitely, ain't no doubt in my mind, I would imagine within the next no more than probably 2 weeks, we're going to have a lot of details surfacing about people going, because there's a shakedown going on. There's no doubt in my mind. So, okay. Well, hey, listen, if anything pops up, I will jump back on here again. I hope you guys are getting something out of this. I try not to go too deep into the details. On Thursday night, I'm going to actually pull up some of the, yeah, that's what I thought. I'm going to pull up some of the specifics. Like we'll look at 331 CK aircraft. We're going to look at the IBC closer, just so you guys can see the interiors, and I'll show you guys how they are able to move skids in and out of the aircraft to conform or to make that plane adaptable to whatever they want. So they can put troops in them, they can put cargo in them, they can put passenger seats, they can do anything. And so I'll show you how that's done. And then we're going to deep dive in on some of the Dominion stuff and the latest with the election. So this stuff right here, though, we're going to really kind of focus in on a little heavier. So that's Thursday nights, called Monkey Business at 7 p.m. Central on the same channel. So if you guys are around, love to have you. Hop in, check it out. I will be back on if anything changes. Again, every day it seems like something's popping into the bay and to the spa. So it's promising. So hopefully, fingers crossed. I think the first one that goes public is going to be, like they said, my understanding is that one's going to be, it's going to shock the world. So I think we're getting close, folks. So that's it. You guys be safe. God bless. And monkey out.